Are you considering moving to the Grand Canyon state? Maybe you're drawn by the beautiful mountains or the reasonable cost of living. Over 32 million people visit this beautiful state every year. If you're thinking about moving to Arizona, or if you just like to learn about new places, then I have you covered. Here are some facts about Arizona you should know about before you make the move. Hey y'all, welcome to the Living in Phoenix, Arizona channel. I'm Heidi Littleton. If you're new here, this channel is about all things living, eating, playing, working in the Phoenix, Arizona area. If you're not new here, welcome back. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Arizona is the real sunshine state. Meteorological statistics don't lie. Arizona is the sunniest state in the country. Florida comes in fifth. Several of our cities report receiving at least 78% sunny days each year. And anyone who lives here knows we're not talking about a brief moment when the sun breaks through the clouds. This is almost blinding sunlight that chases away any chance of seasonal affect disorder. Yuma is sunny 90% of the time, and Phoenix and Tucson tie at 85%. No city in Florida even makes the top 10. While you don't have to worry about tornadoes here and earthquakes are a rare threat, what you do get hit with are haboobs during monsoon season. And no, that's not as good as you're hoping it is, guys. Haboob is an Arabic word for dust storm that resembles the apocalypse or something like that. I'm a bit rusty on my Arabic, but don't worry though, they go away as quickly as they came and it's not really the end of the world. Be sure to check out my other video to learn more about monsoon season and how to stay safe, particularly when you see a haboob coming your way. Daylight savings, spring forward, fall back, move sideways, whatever it is that we do with the clocks for a reason no one ever really seems to know for sure. If you've kept up with the recent bill to make daylight savings time permanent, you might be surprised to know that Arizona is actually way ahead of the country on this matter. Arizona never has to deal with it because there are one of only 2 states that doesn't observe daylight savings time. So you'll never have to lose an hour of sleep or remember to set all of your clocks. Most people don't understand this weird tradition of changing the clocks a couple of times a year. In fact, most believe it's to help the farmers. Not sure about that, but Arizona has known for a long time this isn't the case, and they haven't practiced the tradition since 1968. So if you can't stand losing that hour of sleep every year, consider moving to Arizona. However, there is one exception, which is the Navajo Nation in the northeast corner of Arizona. Arizona has bohemian small towns, impressive museums, and big city contemporary galleries, all of which contribute to our thriving art scene. If you're an artist thinking of moving to Arizona for the inspiring landscape, you shouldn't have a hard time finding a community of like-minded individuals. One of the best places to check out new artists is First Fridays on Roosevelt Row in Central Phoenix. First Friday's Art Walk has grown to become one of the largest monthly art walks in the entire United States. It's a free, all-ages event that draws thousands of attendees spread out across dozens of city blocks and nearly hundreds of businesses. It is by far one of our favorite things to do. The abundant cacti of Arizona aren't just a valuable part of the state's desert ecosystems. They're also a part of our culinary scene. You'll see evidence of the cactus on menus across the state in prickly pear syrups, cactus tacos, and more. It can take some getting used to depending on how it's served. It can be a bit slimy, but give me all of the prickly pear margaritas all day long. Now, the craft beer boom didn't pass the desert by. With more than 100 Arizona breweries making a splash in the beer blogosphere, Greater Phoenix has become a hops haven that's home to an impressive lineup of award-winning, nationally recognized craft beers, growing beer brewing operations, and hopeful brewers who are making moves to plant their future tanks in the city. If you need any recommendations, I'm certainly your girl. Blessed with 128 lakes and 5 major rivers, Arizona beckons outdoor enthusiasts to hike, raft, ski, and fish year-round. The state's most famous river, the mighty Colorado, is one of the longest rivers in the U.S. and is responsible not only for carving the 277-mile chasm through the Grand Canyon, but also for sustaining more than 40 million people in 7 states. Arizona has 7 other major rivers, including the Salt, Gila, and Verde rivers, a chain of lakes, including Lake Pleasant, Canyon Lake, and Lake Roosevelt in the greater Phoenix area, Patagonia Lake in southern and central Arizona, Lake Powell and Lake Havasu in the west and northern Arizona areas, and the otherworldly granite dells of Watson Lake. Fans of water sports will absolutely find plenty of opportunities to boat, water, ski, windsurf, paddleboard, dive, jet ski, all while enjoying the scenery. And fishing is another popular pastime. You'll find no shortage of opportunities to reel in a variety of trout, catfish, tilapia, crappie, and largemouth bass. Cutting down a saguaro cactus is illegal. Saguaros can reach up to 50 feet and have an average lifespan of 150 to 175 years. They are iconic and are one of the many protected plants under Arizona's native plant law. So that giant humanoid cactus that everyone likes to take pictures in front of, if you cut one down without a permit, whether on public or private land, you might have to pay a fine of up to $5,000. And in some cases, it'll actually be considered a felony. In addition, there's actually a special process that needs to be taken to even have one moved. So leave the cacti alone. Arizona is also home to the only venomous lizard in the US. Gila monsters are another protected species, and seeing one of these orange and black reptiles is a treat as they're super highly elusive. Don't panic if you do cross paths. They don't attack, only chomping down on those who choose to harass them. I've honestly only ever seen one at the zoo. I don't even know where you would see one. We are also home to the world's oldest rodeos. Prescott, which is northwest of Phoenix, is home to the world's oldest rodeo, and a couple hours drive away, Payson is home to the world's oldest continuously operating rodeo. They've both been lassoing since the 1880s. The baseball fun goes beyond the Diamondbacks here in Arizona. The state is a popular spot for spring training, which has been a tradition since 1947. They host the MLB's Cactus League, which consists of 15 MLB teams, while Florida hosts the Grapefruit League. Tickets used to be really cheap, but you can still catch a midweek game for under $20 at some stadiums, but the more popular teams like the Cubs and the Giants and more centrally located stadiums will cost more to check out. There are 10 stadiums throughout the valley, so no matter where you live, you will find one nearby. Kicking back on a lawn with a beer in hand during a spring training game is a must-do for anyone living in Arizona. Yes, it snows in Arizona. When most people think about Arizona, they picture desert. And there's plenty of that here. The amazing Sonoran Desert is the only place in the world where the coolest cactus grows, the saguaro. But believe it or not, the desert only makes up a portion of the state. Many people move to Arizona expressly for the sunshine, right? But others don't want to give up the 4 seasons they're used to, particularly if you're coming from the Midwest. If you fall into the latter category, rest assured that it does snow in Arizona. I won't tell you that Arizona is a snowy state or to pack your skis and snow gear if you visit in the winter, because it certainly isn't, obviously. However, snowfall does happen in significant parts of Arizona each year, especially during the cold desert nights. If you settle in the mountains in northern Arizona, you won't have to donate your cozy sweaters and snow pants. You can put them to use on the ski slopes and hiking trails of Arizona. On average, the state gets just under 5 inches of snow each year, and even more in some of the northern highland areas. It isn't a lot, but it is worth mentioning considering most would assume Arizona residents never get to see snow. Being from Wisconsin, I do miss the snow from time to time. I love renting a cabin in Flagstaff for a long weekend after it snows. I get the fun of playing and seeing snow, but don't have to deal with the endless shovel and the dirty aftermath of what we know happens after it snows. Now, I don't think that this is one that many of us are actually proud of, but it's important to know Arizona generally ranks near the bottom of lists that rank states by the quality and funding per child of their public education systems. If you're moving to Arizona with children or thinking of starting a family after you settle in the state, It's absolutely worth doing research into schools and school districts before you buy or rent a home. Be sure to check out my other video on the top school districts in the Phoenix area just to learn a little bit more. Chicago can keep their dogs. I'm just kidding, 100% kidding. I love me a Chicago dog. In Arizona, however, it's all about the Sonoran hot dog. Believed to have been created in Tucson, this local favorite is essentially a bacon-wrapped hot dog served on a crispy bun topped with pinto beans with chopped onions, tomatoes, jalapenos. Layer on some mustard and mayo, and you've got yourself a bona fide Sonoran. And don't forget to add on a side of elote. Other than maybe California, if you're a wine lover, there's no better place to be in the country than Arizona. Arizona boasts over 100 wineries, making it a popular destination for wine lovers. You can take the Sedona Wine Adventures or the Verde Valley Wine Trail or any of the other wine tours available throughout the state to get a taste of some of the best wine you'll find in the country. Sonoran, Wilcox, and the Verde Valley between Sedona and Jerome have soil and climate conditions similar to those in parts of the south of France, Spain, and southern Australia. Arizona is also host to some don't miss events like the Scottsdale Culinary Festival, the Phoenix Open, and the Barrett-Jackson Car Show. The Scottsdale Culinary Festival is a 6-day celebration of gourmet food, restaurant booths, amazing wines, microbrews, and even gets graced with celebrity chefs. The festival is actually one of the longest running culinary festivals in the US, attracting over 35,000 visitors every year. Now, the Waste Management Phoenix Open, known as the greatest show on the grass, or the People's Open, is held at TPC Scottsdale annually in February. The Phoenix Open is the best attended golf tournament in the world with more than 700,000 fans in attendance. It's basically a giant party disguised as a golf tournament. It's the place for people watching, fashion, and lots of fun. Additionally, they've raised more than $165 million for charities in its 85-year history. Now, if you want to marvel at cars you can't afford, Barrett-Jackson is a legendary event with people from all over the world buying and selling some seriously expensive cars. There are over 1,900 cars. You'll find performance tracks with everything from thrill rides to hot laps, and it's family friendly and attracts over 250,000 visitors yearly. Now, when vacation time rolls around, there's no need to leave the state to get some R&R. You'll get plenty of it in your own backyard, as Scottsdale should be known as the luxury relaxation capital of the US, if it isn't already. The city boasts more spas per capita than any other place in the country. Get a massage, detox, or just lounge by the pool at some stunning resorts. And with more sunny days than Hawaii, what more could you ask for? Plus, you can often find amazing deals for locals during the summer months. Arizona is home to 21 federally recognized Indian tribes, and 28% of the state is reservation land. The two largest reservations are the Navajo Nation in northern Arizona, though it also encompasses a portion of Utah and New Mexico, and the Tohono-O'odham Nation in southern Arizona. Arizona also has the largest number of speakers of indigenous languages. Navajo is the most widely spoken in our state, and coincidentally is spoken more here than in the rest of the nation. It is also closely followed by Western Apache and Yavapai. We got nuts! Arizona is one of the country's top producers of nuts. Want some pecans? You don't have to go to Georgia or Texas. Arizona is one of the nation's top producers of the tree-grown treat. There's an estimated 26,000 acres of pecans in Arizona. Arizona is fourth in nationwide production, and Green Valley Pecan Company manages 7,000 acres. Hikers rejoice! Most people associate Arizona with the desert, which is fair, but it doesn't cover the entire state. The Rocky Mountains go directly through Arizona, and there are some beautiful peaks throughout the state. Humphreys Peak is the tallest mountain in the state, standing at 12,637 feet, and there are green-covered mountains throughout the state. When I say throughout the state, I mean it. Spanning from northwest to the southeast of Arizona, you'll find scenic mountain views near every major highway. The state is better known for that iconic visit to the Grand Canyon, but the beautiful landscapes also go for miles in other directions. If you're looking to travel outside of the cities, there are plenty of hikes for every skill level worth checking out. Also, there's the Arizona Trail, which is a hiking trail running for over 800 miles through the state. This is an excellent alternative if you're into backpacking, but the Pacific Crest Appalachian Trail is the real highlight. It's also a popular destination for cross-country skiing during the winter. I hope you learned something new, and now you can share your random Arizona knowledge during your next trivia night. If this was helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. As always, if you have any questions at all or want to know more about moving to the Phoenix area, don't hesitate to reach out at all. All of my contact info is below. Until next time,